Lil Wayne might testify in the YSL RICO trial with Young Thug. Yeah, well, I'm not particularly sure who would be the worst loser here, but we gonna talk about it.
Yeah, clap, 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 award show. Backpack, stay strapped, Fredro. Shut it down like Onyx, supersonic. I'm the shit, you the shit, no Kalani.
But you don't have the right foundation.
Your Honor, in the court, the court relies on the officers of the court to present to the court the reasons why things should come in. And while I hear and understand what the court is saying now, the reason that I am speaking is to ask that the court allow us to present to the court all of the reasons and ways that it is admissible without Mr. Carter coming in to testify, because that's what our duty is to give to the court.
The rules of evidence is to allow for most evidence to be admitted. However, it's got to be relevant and it's got to be for a particular purpose. Now, I'm telling you, if you get Mr. Carter in here, then you'll solve a number of your problems. I'm just not going to let it in at this point in time as presented. I'm not saying it's not relevant, okay? I'm not saying it's not for a particular purpose.
BBN Jack Frost. What's up, party people? Alright, so yeah. So apparently, Fani Willis and her office has once again run into an issue, and that is they don't know how to introduce evidence into a trial. Okay. Now, I want to be 100% clear with you. They obviously know how to introduce evidence into a trial. It's just, so far, they have been running into all of the issues. Every time they have a piece of evidence that I'm assuming they think is the nail in the coffin, it's not allowed in. So first, let's discuss what might be the thing that they might want Lil Wayne to talk about. So just if you already heard the little clip that they had, and basically they want to introduce some evidence that is an audio clip of some people speaking. Now, I'm going to tell you what it might be, just so we can be clear. But first, I'm going to tell you about the incident that it might be attached to. Now, I might not be 100% correct about this, but I'm going to tell you what the incident might be that it's attached to. And then I'm going to tell you what it actually is. So for everybody that don't remember, there was a while back, Lil Wayne's tour bus was shot up. For everybody that don't know, Lil Wayne's tour bus was shot up. Lil Wayne had been going through some kind of issue or some kind of situation with Cash Money at that time with Baby. And this is around the time that Young Thug first jumped up and hopped up on the scene. He was popping. Let's just be clear. If y'all remember, Young Thug at one time also wanted to name one of his albums like the Carter 3 or something, the Carter something or other. And that's in reference to the fact that Lil Wayne's albums are usually called the Carter. No, his last name is Carter, so it's like the Carter whatever, right? So what ends up happening is Lil Wayne is, I'm guessing it was on tour or something along those lines, and his tour bus ends up getting shot up. Now they're trying to figure out who did it. Turns out it was a man that they say was Young Thug's manager. He recently was let out of jail. Also, just so we can be clear, he has been charged in this case. I remember this case that we're currently talking about. And in addition to that, I'm not sure if he took a deal or not. I'd have to look that up. That's not relevant to what's happening right now in this particular video. So we're going to move on from that. So basically what happened was the tour bus got shot up. This guy, I forget what his name is. He eventually went to jail for it. I didn't think he did like 5 or 6 years or whatever the case is. But before he went to jail, he had a conversation on the phone with Young Thug and with Baby Birdman. And during this conversation, there were things that were said. Now, that is the audio that I think they're trying to get in. But as you already know, you cannot just introduce evidence. The evidence you must have a reason to introduce evidence, because you cannot make the jury prejudice. You can't prejudice the jury. So the only evidence that the jury is allowed to see is evidence of the crime that is currently being spoken of. Just so we can be clear, like, you can only show the person the crimes that they're in trial for. You can't talk about crimes of previous, especially crimes, might we add, that somebody has already went to prison for. Now, the dude, I think, had gotten a deal at one point. So they might have expected for him to get on the stand and say why he allegedly, he did do the shooting, but allegedly why he did the shooting. Now, many of the individuals who are down with Young Thug that before had said, you know what, we're going to do all of the talking. Now they're like, you know what, now we got zip lips. So they might not want to get on the stand now, or they might be like some of these witnesses that got on the stand and they just didn't do the talking that they expected them to. They got up there. One guy was too high. He was like, oh, come on, judges. I'm too high over here. I don't even know if I can stay awake. Another guy took the stand and was like, I'm not talking. I shouldn't even be here. Another lady took the stand and was like, they's arrested me and I lost my jabs. So there's a lot of things going on here that just goes to this trial is going to hell in a handbasket for the prosecution. Now, the reason why they might be wanting Lil Wayne to take the stand is because they might be wanting Lil Wayne to talk about this particular situation. And then if he talks about this, that will allow for them to then introduce the evidence that they want to introduce. The problem is this. Lil Wayne might have already, and this is why it's always so difficult when they're trying to work around an individual that they don't want to expose. Now, I'm not saying Lil Wayne is working with the government, has ever worked with the government. I'm not saying any of that. But if at some point he made a deal with said government, and part of the deal that he made with said government was, I can never take the stand, that's going to ruin my career, they would not want to call him. Also, they should not want him to get on the stand, because he's not going to say the things that they want him to say, because there's no way in the world he's going to throw his career away. He is considered by many to be the greatest rapper alive. Not me. Rakim still exists. Nas still exists. And there's about 2 or 3 other guys that I have over Wayne. But Wayne is a top 3 performer vocally. He's a top 3 vocal performer. That's my opinion. Do what you want with it. With that being said, the judge is like, well, if you could get him to take the stand, yeah, but he's going to get up there and he's not going to say any of the things that they want him to say, because there's no way in the world he's going to throw his career away and put another rapper in jail, just so we could be clear, because then how is he going to be accepted in the hip hop community? So these guys, the prosecution, Fani Willis's office, they have quite a conundrum in front of them. They have a thing that they believe they can prove if they have evidence that they can introduce, but they cannot introduce the evidence, so therefore they can't get closer to proving the thing that they believe that they can prove. With that being said, put it down in the comment section. Is there a different reason why you might think that they might want, or this might be a point of contention for them, having Lil Wayne get on the stand? But as you can see, the judge is all for it. The judge is like, look, man, I want to meet more rappers anyway. I want to be like that man, New York City. Like, comment, subscribes. Join the notification gang. Hashtag Bronx Bombers. Let's get it. I love y'all. Take care of each other. Hug the kids for me. I haven't forgotten about you. And that's all I get on this one. I'm out.